This is the story of the hardest Pokemon challenge I have ever done, and the most time-inducing challenge I have ever done. If you're not familiar with the term a living dex, it's a sort of completionist goal that some people in the Pokemon community like to do. Now, a living dex is catching every Pokemon in a single region or game. Sounds simple, right? Well, it's not. A living dex, well, living, is that you have to catch the pre-evolutions also for every Pokemon in the region. For example, if I catch a Flygon, I would then need to go out and catch a Trapinch and a Vibrava. Sounds confusing, but that's because I'm explaining it, and I'm not the best at this kind of things. For this challenge, I've decided to play on Sword, and on the very first playthrough I ever played on Pokemon Sword, because it's poetry. It was because I started a living dex on it like the year it came out, and I never finished it, so that's the only reason. But yeah, I only caught like 172 Pokemon, and not in Sheild, because I choose to live. Now, this is going to be a long video, so grab your drinks, grab your snacks, grab your popcorn, and let's get into this nightmare of a run. Also, please subscribe. I appreciate it. And this video was being made like a month before Legends EA came out, and the footage by itself was recorded over 8 separate days, which you're going to see, and this is why it's late, because Legends EA took over my life. But with all that, let's actually get into the run. After 16 minutes skimming through the Pokédex, and of all the boxes that I had, I finally decided to start the challenge. Now, I decided just to start at the top of the Pokédex and work my way down, because that seemed like the easiest way to do it. So that's what I did. First catching a Noctowl, but then I got very sidetracked and decided to catch everything within my vicinity. So for the first day, I just caught random weird Pokemon and wasted a lot of time. Though I did catch a lot of Pokemon in the day. Okay. Look, if I've done two boxes, which I mean it's not bad, but it's not good. And then I still need to get all the starters, which is yes, need to do that. But I mean, two boxes aren't that bad, to be honest. Yeah, but literally what I need to do is sort out all the boxes, because I'm pretty sure half of this is wrong. So I'm gonna do that and then go see if I can catch any more Pokemon. Yeah. Do I regret doing a living dex? Not really. It's pretty chill so far, been doing it. Yeah, but most of the time it's just been hatching eggs, and you never know. It could get a shiny, could not get a shiny. But yeah, we got a lot of work to do, so we better do it before ZA comes out. That is the goal. Well, before, yeah, that's the goal, basically. Okay, yeah, I did do the first two boxes off camera, but if I hadn't done some off-cam catching, I would have never finished this challenge. So, day 2. as I said, I tried to organize the boxes, but I only organized the first 4, then went back to catching Pokemon. This was the day that I started to get efficient with catching Pokemon, and I tried to be a little faster on how I caught Pokemon, but sometimes some Pokemon are annoying, like this Chandelure, because Calyrex was burned and it minimized, which is annoying since now I can't get it down to red, since I will miss a bunch of times. But what's more annoying is when I heal a burn, but then I get immediately burned back. Now, this wasn't the only time a Pokemon was incredibly annoying in this run. You'll see later on just how incredibly infuriating and dumb some of these catches can get. But anyway, after catching Chandelure, Mamoswine, Piloswine, Glalie, Xatu, Munna, and then hatching all the other Pokemon I needed from eggs, and at the end of the box, 3 was finished. So, we got box 3 done yesterday. But before I went to sleep, I went and sorted them all into their different Pokedex entries and see how much boxes it would take. And I fearly underestimated how many boxes this needed. So obviously we've got 1, 2, and 3 done. Box 4 is getting there. Hope to get that done today and maybe start on box 5. Get a start on it. But let's just see how much boxes we actually need to complete the Pokedex, okay? So we got start 1, 2, 3. And you'd think it'd stop, but wait. 14. 14 boxes, and I have no idea if I don't know if you can get type null. I don't know if you could get type null out of an egg. I don't think it's possible. Maybe it is. I'll try, but I don't think that is possible. 14 boxes, which totals 400 Pokemon. Basically halfway there. I've got 224 or something around those lines. Exactly. 225. Yeah. So yesterday I was hoping to be at around 250. But fear drastically underestimated this. It is possible, definitely. It is definitely possible, but I just need to pick up the pace. Yeah. But today is a very good day because I think... Because the thing is about this, I think snowstorms and sandstorms are like apparently they're the most ones that I can't find, so apparently they're rare. And today I have 2 snowstorms and 1 sandstorm, I think. But we've got snow and normal weather everywhere, which is also good, because I need to get normal weather Pokemon as well. Which is great.
Actually looking for a temple somewhere. Actually, no, I think I caught a temple. Did I? So now that the boxes are finished, I can just catch all the Pokemon that I need, starting with Musharna, but I need a Moonstone for it. The the baby form, the pre-evolution is Zatu. Don't know its name. So we gotta do that. And we gotta seriously pick up the pace really fast. So I need to go find the Moonstone, I need to get the pre-evolution of Zatu, and I need to catch this Pokemon right here. I forget how you evolve Nincada into Ninjask. Yep. Gotta go catch them all, yay.
Day 3. I started off by heading to the digging duo and evolving Muna, since I captured 2 a couple of minutes later, and I got a Moonstone, so I immediately evolved Muna into Musharna, which I didn't know needed a Moonstone, so yeah. Secondly, I wanted 2 Drifloons, and where something unexpectedly happened. It burst out of a critical capture. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know it was possible. I've never seen it happen. And Drifloon, of all Pokemon. Weird. But it then blew up, so it clearly did not want to be a part of the living dex. And then the second one I was getting was caught with a critical capture. Really weird. Really, really weird. I caught Swirlix, but realised I can't evolve it since it's a trade evolution, which is annoying. By the way, would you like to know how many trade evolutions are in Sword and Shield? Well, you can guess. There might be more. There's 12. There's 12. Why would anyone want this? It's just crazy. 12 trade evolutions. I mean, I can get some because of wandering, but it's just very annoying. Like, yeah, I understand 4 or 5, but 12 is madness. But they did counteract this with wanderers and raids, as I just said. It's not all bad. Back to the challenge, and I catch Nincada, and I'm probably the only person who likes Nincada. I mean, it has a very cool evolution style, with it splitting into 2 Pokemon, with one of the most busted abilities of all time, Wonder Guard. I just wish it had better stats. And as you can see, I eventually did evolve it into Ninjask, which also made me attain Shedinja in the process, which, yeah, makes sense. Other Pokemon I caught on this day were Esper, which I evolved into Meowstic, very cool Pokemon, a Hyper Beaming Gyarados, which is very pleasant, but I did catch it then and there. So then there was Drifloon, who evolved into Drifblim, normal form, Basculin, Roggenrola, Diglett, Pongoro, Galarian Meowth, Clang, Bonsly, and finally Combee and Vespiquen. To finish off the day, I also tried to catch a G-Max Gengar, but after failing 3 times, I got mad and gave up, so I wasn't able to catch it. I caught all the remaining Pokemon in box 4 and 5, and it was very boring, so I didn't miss much. And yes, a lot of this is off camera, but if I didn't, this video wouldn't be possible. Day 4. Oh, good golly, what a day this was. I started the day by heading over to the Lake of Outrage, since Milotic was next on the list. But this fish would not cooperate. I must have thrown almost 20 Pokeballs, and it would just keep breaking out. Also, if you're wondering why I'm using repeat balls, don't worry, I'm not insane. As people might be wondering. It's because I've caught a Milotic before. It's just in another game, since it's a trade evolution. Hey, wait a minute. Just going to fix that real quick. Perfect. Next up was Wishy-Washy. And this fish did not like me either, because it happened again. And it escaped a critical capture as well. Why do these fish hate me so much? Anyway, I finally caught it, and that was that, I guess. I went and caught Arrokuda and Barraskewda, where in my notes I wrote, interesting things. I have no idea what I was talking about. Moving on. I caught them super easily though. Weird. The last decent thing that happened on this day was Feebas hunting. Since Feebas has a catch rate of 1% in this game, it makes it very difficult to find. Now I thought it would take me almost an hour, but the fish gods were nice for once, and I only caught it under 20 minutes. Very nice. Here's something that's funny. When catching Ferrothorn, it decided it didn't want to come peacefully, and instead decided to explode in my face. Thank you, Ferrothorn, for exploding. Real nice. Anyway. Okay, other Pokemon I caught on this day was Excadrill, Alolan Dugtrio by evolving Alolan Diglett, our normal Dugtrio, a very annoying Conkeldurr, Timburr, then Gurdurr, Drillbur, Onix, Noibat, then evolving it into Noivern, Cutiefly, Ribombee, Berserker by evolving Galarian Meowth, and finally Gourgeist, another trade evolution Pokemon. I don't know why it's a trade evolution. To be honest, it could have just not been, you know, could have, yeah, just level up evolution, but whatever. And with Gourgeist acquired, I finished the day with the fastest time I had filled a box, with a time of 1 hour and 30 minutes. And box 7, I only needed 3 Pokemon left. Since all of the evolutions were in Pokemon Scarlet, and I already have their Pokédex entries, so I don't need them, and with that, day 4 ended. Day 5. I hatched a plan. The plan didn't go according to plan, but it was still a plan. To catch Ferrothorn. I would use Quagsire with the ability Damp, so Ferrothorn can't explode. So it turns out I just quick-balled it the first try, so none of that was needed. But there's always safe than sorry, I guess. Another thing that happened today is that a Wimpod escaped a critical capture. That's fun. You would think that it would be stronger Pokemon that can escape critical captures. No, just regular old Pokemon escaping critical captures. Weird. Very weird. No, all the weak ones. All the weak ones. I also tried to catch Grimmsnarl, which was the worst thing possible. It would not get into the ball over and over and over again. It would just keep breaking out. Also, it took out Calyrex, and what was in my party, and what was in my party was a fainted Regidrago, a Morgrem, and a Sinistea. This was very annoying, but I healed Calyrex back up with a Revival Herb, got its health in the red, it nasty plotted, very scary, but I finally caught the darn thing. Pure stress, all the way, stress everywhere, flying out, everywhere stress. The last thing I wanted to do on this day was get Surfetched, with one of the weirdest evolution methods I have ever seen. You have to get like 3 critical hits in one battle for it to evolve. How does Galar have its Pokemon evolve in the most strangest ways? I mean, like Galarian Yamask, to evolve, has to lose its health to 1 HP, then you must traverse to the Dusty Bowl, where it will evolve under a big rock arch thingy. To get Flapple and Appleton, you need different apples. And for Galarian Slowbro, you have to find small twigs, 8 for the Galarica Cuff, where if you give these items to a Slowpoke, you'll get Slowbro. Am I reading this right? It's a literal side quest. What were they thinking? Were they like, yeah, gotta do that. And other Pokemon I caught on this day was Ferroseed and Pichu, which were hatched from eggs. Eggs are very good, and you'll see lots of eggs coming in the later dates. Yeah, a Dupiter I caught. I also caught Chinchou and Lantern, Shellos, Galarian Stunfisk, Shuckle, Gastrodon, Barboach, and Whiscash. Binacle, another Wimpod, then evolving it into Golisopod. Cool. Oracle, a Bergmite, the Cincinnati I talked about earlier, and then finally Morgrem. Okay, that was a lot, but we finished box 8, technically, since the rest of the Pokemon are Sheild exclusives, but we will be handling that tomorrow. Okay, day 6. In my spare time, I completed box 9, so we are now on box 10, and to start things off, I wanted to catch Excelgor, which can be caught in the Isle of Armor, even though the internet says the only way to get Excelgor is through trade or Dynamax Adventures. Weird. Also, the reason I am in Sheild is because in Sword, Excelgor wouldn't spawn. Weird glitch or something. I know it can spawn, it can definitely spawn, it just weird glitch, something. Next, I traded over Zacian and Zamazenta, which were in my first Sheild playthrough game. I don't know why. The 3 starters, Excelgor and Alakazam. And the only other thing that happened today was that Quillfish was being annoying to catch. And that's it. Very boring day. Another Pokemon that I captured was 2 Scorpy, then evolving one into Drapion, Cubchoo, Weavile, Sigilyph, Riolu, Mime Jr., the Dark Lord Mimikyu, all hail Mimikyu, Mawile, and then finishing off the day on Lucario. Quick day, but it's on to the next one. Okay, day number 7. Day 7? Oh wait, that's not right. Wait, day Turtle. All right, the recording crashed because of him. The turtle. Turtonator was the worst Pokemon to find in the game. To find this stupid reptilian turtle red freakish monster, you need harsh sunlight in the Lake of Outrage. That sounds very reasonable, but for some reason it's 1% encounter. And unlike Feebas, where it was cycles between Magikarp and Chewtle, in the Lake of Outrage it cycles 7 different Pokemon, making it the most hardest Pokemon to catch in the game. Why? The 7 Pokemon you can switch between are Rhyhorn, Jangmo-o, Corviknight, Colossal, Sandaconda, Stonejourner, and then finally Turtonator. So after about 50 minutes of hunting for this turtle, the power to my PC and Switch cut out. This only happened on this day, looking for the single stupid turtle. Lost me 2 hours of footage, and you know what the funniest thing was? After the power shut off, I found the turtle. Only took a power cut, But whatever, whatever. What's done is done. I only caught like 10 Pokemon on this day anyway. So let's move on to the final day. I hate Turtonator. It can burn. Need to calm down. I need to calm down. Stupid turtle. Day number 8. And the final day of this challenge. It's been a weird ride, but it finishes today. The first thing that I did was catch the Hydreigon line. Now you would think catching a powerful Pokemon like Hydreigon would be a hard task. But nope, went very easily. Maybe this wouldn't be so hard. I got Phalanx, Galarian Darumaka, and Darmanitan. And whilst hunting for Duraludon, I got jump scared by the thing. Wasn't that hard to catch either. But the next Pokemon was the most annoying one I have ever encountered. Unlike the turtle. Stonejourner. It took 5 whole minutes to catch this monolith. I think it's a monolith. Don't count me out on that. Monolith stupid thing. It took 10 Ultra Balls, 4 Nest Balls to catch this thing. Oh, sorry, I should have brought this up. I haven't told you why I have 740 Pokeballs in my bag. Well, when I was completing a box at night, probably sleep deprived, I thought I was spending my watts on Quick Balls. But they were Nest Balls. I promise to you, I am not colorblind. And I have no idea how it happened. But, I mean, it happened. So, whatever. Now, after catching Stonejourner, it is time to go on to our final list of the video. On the final day, I caught Solrock, Frostmoth, the Charizard line, Mr. Mime, Clobopus, Grapploct, evolved Yamask into Unigrigus, even though it took a little while, Dracloak, and Dragapult. Now onto home, where I transferred all the version exclusives into Sword, but apart from Aromatisse, which needs to be acquired from a max raid. Yeah, and yeah, ZA wasn't out before this, so had to do it the old-fashioned way. All there was to do was hatch just a couple of eggs. Then we are done.
I'm going to interrupt monologuing Gigaboy from doing whatever he's doing and cut in here because this challenge has been very different of what I do. I'm not a person to do living dexes, but I started doing this living dex when Sword and Shield came out, and I am now finishing it. So yeah, but also I know that some people may be upset that I didn't include every Pokemon I catched. I try to include the ones that I thought would be interesting. Like the Turtonator one, the stupid turtle. Him. That was the funniest thing that could have happened ever when my recording and the internet crashed. A turtle crashed my recording. Which is a very funny thing to say. But do I need anything else? I don't think so. I think I've got everything. Got 2 eggs from Goodra. We can take Ditto out of his home. He has been in there for 7 years? God, sorry, Ditto. Ditto, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Ditto. I should have cared for you more. Okay, we need to go catch a Yamask because a lot of you probably already know what this Pokemon is. But I didn't know it was an actual Pokemon entry, but it makes sense. I think I already knew it and I just forgot. which, very likely. I'm very forgettable about things. It should just spawn here without a problem. Unless it wants to be annoying, but... Bye, Yamask. Bye-bye. Bye. Oh, I didn't know the eyes were different. That's cool. Masky. Okay, there we go. And yes, our final Pokemon is Runigregus. Coffigregus, sorry. I thought it's Coffigregus, not Runigregus. Runigregus is the Galarian form. But we want Coffigregus. Weird Pokemon. Scary Pokemon, actually. This Pokemon has body of sparkling gold. People say it no longer remembers that it was once human. That is messed up. That is messed up. Wasn't there another Pokemon entry that said that it actually mummifies its captors or something? I don't remember. Okay, I have to move everything up. It'd be easier if I just moved it up one. You actually completed the Pokédex. I did. This is truly an amazing feat. You deserve a special certificate to commemorate the... Oh, yo! We hereby certificate your achievement of completing the Pokédex. May this great accomplishment be celebrated by all. Thank you. I actually have the certificate... I have the certificates for Scarlet and Violet and the DLCs for them. I just don't know where they are. We're leaving it there. That's the end of this challenge and the end of this video. So well done for making it to the end. And I'll see you when Legends EA drops. That's gonna be interesting. So see you then. Bye. See you next time.
Well, that's something I'm never gonna do again. Thank you for watching this absolutely catastrophe. I will never do it again. I don't think if anyone paid me to do it, I would never do it again. It hurt my soul. Well, because of two Pokemon. Well, mostly one Pokemon. The stupid turtle. Ah. Bye. See you in the next video.